Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream. If you're not watching this live, I hope you enjoy the rerun and I hope you find something of value inside. Maybe we find I'm wrong, who knows. Let's start with a question. What's up? What you guys think? Was I wrong? That's the question we're gonna answer tonight, guys. That's the question we're gonna answer tonight. Was TLA wrong on the move? Is the 23, wacko shizo mentality speaking, or what's happening? The center player in the chat, Chamali, Mladen, Farid, Nate. Here to my downfall, late up the main man with the master plan. I'm manipulating Matke from the hot tub. Oh, you got a hot tub, man. That's nice. In the garden. Hello family, hello leash, hi tribe, captain is in the chat, so all good and nice. Navid Pish, hey everyone, how you doing, man? By the deep, once we crash, 2010 told me so. We'll see, we'll see. By the way, guys, you can start by answering the poll in the top or bottom or wherever it is. Yo, any milk? There is always milk at evening. We will see. I mean, how can you not trust the guy who is drinking milk? We are gonna pump now. Big deal if it drops another 20% for a year. It's accumulation time. What people should be worried about is if they sell at 4% loss, thinking it'll fall further than FOMO in when they realize it over. I'm lactose intolerant. Well, there is milk that is lactose reduced, and there is milk that is totally absent of lactose. The milk adopter, yeah, we got a milk adopter. We got also the milk adopter. Let me just shield the stream a little bit up here before we continue. Over here. By the way, is the music too loud? That's what I want to know. Is the music too loud? No, it's fine. Good, good, good. I would lower it a bit. I mean, if I lower it a bit, then you cannot hear it. Fine, yeah. 2 versus 1 says fine. Everything good. Gianni, Hodl, evening to all. MDM, Financials, Photorealistic, Metaverse, evening, man, how you doing? I'm Lobin, hi, man, how you doing? Oh, this is live. Yeah, man, this is live. Chair, we got a chair in the chat. So you're very special. You're a very special boy. Anyways, guys, hit the like button. Now let's start over here. Let's see what so far is TLA wrong? Yeah, no way we're going to 23. So 20% says that I am wrong. 40% think we're gonna go down to 29, 31k. So you are a little bit bearish. And 40% thinks that this is a legit support and that we will pump. Actually, 43% thinks that we are a legit support, just a little bit, like 10% lower. So there is definitely a very bullish line, and I'm gonna show you that on the chart. But let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. And even though if I miss this call on the 23,000, it is very bearish, it is very bearish sentiment. And ever since we started calling down here, we have gone down technically, right? Not to 23,000, but we did go down. So if anybody, you know, reacted to my you know, scare propaganda, I mean, technically it went down, you know, it didn't went down to 23, but it kind of went down a little bit, right? So there is that. Now let's talk lines, guys. Let's talk lines. Moving averages. Let's start with the monthly moving average up here, and what you're gonna see here, because right now it's 24th, so we got a 1 2 3 4 5, we got a less than one week left. Less than 1 week left before this candle closes. If this candle closes below the 20 moving average, that might be bad stuff, right? That might be bad stuff. So you can already see down here, once we cross the 20 moving average, we had a big drop. If we cross the 20 moving average up here, you know, history maybe or maybe not repeating, go down. You can see also here, over here actually not, we did cross, but we did the dump on the downside, but we tried to recover up here and then go down. But this, as far as this goes, this is a monthly time frame. How much was this dump actually down? Only 12%. Like it was down like 26%, you know, to the wick down on the downside, but you know, 26%. This one from the open to the wick down, 44%. You know, and so if you say something in between down here, we might see something like 30% to the downsides. That's around 27,000. You know, give or take. If we hit my target, it's around 35,000. So it is, you know, legit move if we close below. If we close below the 20 moving average, right? We are right now measuring from the you know, close to the bottom wick, right? So this was a 23% drop. This over here is 44% drop, and this up here, you know, if we are gonna hit my target around 30, 23, 24, 25 in the area down there, it's gonna be around 35 percent on the downside yet, right? So over here, I mean, it did continue down over here all the way to the 50%, but you know, after this move, after we break the 20, actually over here it actually went 57%. So if this initial move is 35 and something like 50% is targeted on the downside, you know, we hit some kind of like 20,000. I don't think we're gonna hit 20,000. I'm still, you know, looking at this 23, 24, 25, at least for this initial move towards the downside, if that happens. And you can see that, you know, we are technically below the 20 moving average. That's a fact. We are below 20 moving. Now, what's not a fact is that we are not closed on the 20 moving, below 20 moving average. And everything looks fine and then, because this can just pull up in the next 6 days and there will be no problems, right? But if we do close below the 20 moving average, we might just experience one of these dumps that happened before, because every time we closed, and that happened only 2 times before, that's down here in you know, 2014, September 2014 and October 2018. Once we close below that, we had a big dump on the downside. So if we close below the 20 moving average, we might have a big dump on the downside. So the move to the downside, so this right now, although not closed yet, it does look a little bit bearish. You gotta admit that. Fact, right? So let's move on from that and see, you know, but you know, also fact, we are holding the 20 moving average, so you cannot say, you know, that it's, you know, full-blown emergency, right? And if you look at some lines on the bottom side down here, you know, this weekly trend, I mean, although it does have only 2 levels down here, you know, we gotta break some kind of 35 levels on the downside down here, 35 levels on the downside down here, 35, 36 levels on the downside down here before we become you know, very bearish. But you can see that that's you know, wherever these bottoms are down here. Let's go to the daily time frame to see how this actually looks. It's down here where these bottoms are. So if you move this with, you know, with the move below down there, you know, we are breaking the trend also on the monthly time frame, but that's not a fact yet, because that can always bounce back up, right? That can always bounce back up. So that's the monthly time frame. So let's go up here and see what's happening on the weekly time frame. I'm gonna show you these lines a little bit later. But first thing first, what you're gonna see that we are also below all of them, not all of the moving average, but 3 very important moving averages, 10, 20 and the 50 moving average. We are below all of these 3 moving averages on the downside, which technically is bad, you know, bad sentiment or a bearish momentum. I would say bearish moment, but you know, it's not the best thing. It's not bad. You always want to be above the moving averages, you know, to have some kind of option. So we are definitely not right now in any kind of option like long big term. We are still getting higher highs. So you know, fact we are getting higher highs, technically we are in option. Yes, we are technically option. Higher highs, higher lows, technically option. Yes, we are technically option. Technically sitting on the support. Yes, we are technically sitting on the support. That's also the fact. We are sitting on the support. Where the support down here is, maybe it's something like this that we have just broken. I think it's not that. I think it's something like this. I think this this pullback down here, this very nice pivot point downside, needs to be used for this move up here. And you can see that, you know, some of these lines get hit almost, you know, up here, down here. Depends on whether this is binary chart or some other chart. And you can see here that maybe it should be something like this up here, give or take. Maybe it's something like this. Maybe because this engulfing candle down here, this over here, week before the engulfing candles hits in, maybe it's something like this. Really doesn't matter. I mean, there is definitely some kind of line down here that needs to be, you know, found. And you know, I have a little bit trouble finding that line. I tried so many times, you know, I haven't seen any kind of legit move on the line. Now the better line that everybody right now is watching is something like this up here, right? Something like this. I think this is the line right now, because we haven't seen a major drop after we broke this on the downside. We haven't seen the major drop, so this line up here, it's not that important, and it goes something like this. I'm going to show you up here. This line goes something like this up here. And you can see that this trend line, this daily trend line down here, local trend line, got broken. We tried to get it back up again, failed at, closed down, right now consolidating over here. So this is a bearish momentum. That's a fact, right? That's a fact. Now the fact is also that this line over here did not drop us big time on the downside, meaning that this trend line up here is not that important. Also, you know, more facts. So we are definitely at some kind of support, you know, very nice support, very nice support, very nice support. How many support up here? You can say, let's count, maybe 1, 2 times, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7 times. This will be 8 times. We are trying testing this support on the downside. The question is whether, you know, TLA rule, golden rule, will actually play out here or not. Will we actually bounce from this support or not towards the upside up here? But the fact is, we are actually at the support. We are at support. So, you know, you cannot say that we are, you know, it's emergency, we are going down. And maybe it was a little bit preemptive, you know, to calling emergency up here. But, you know, we called emergency and, you know, we went down. That's a fact. That's a fact, right? We are still not below the very important line down here. I think this is one of these lines that needs to be important. So if you start dropping down here below, down here, and you see big moves, that will be, of course, you know, confirmation of this emergency. Now, whether that's gonna happen or not, that demands to be seen. So we're gonna also look at what's happening down here. So you can see already right now we are at some kind of support. The monthly does look, the monthly, you know, moving averages does look a little bit bearish, but they're not closed. Weekly looks a little bit bearish, but on the weekly time frame, what we have up here on the weekly time frame is this very nice doji that's happening right now. So we get a big full candle up here, red candle towards downside. We get a doji, and these two candles can be very bullish candles that can propel you towards the upside. So, you know, probability to get some kind of a green candle up here towards the upside is pretty big, because, and this would be some kind of a reversal pattern on the downside. Reversal pattern is called morning doji star pattern up here. If this pattern plays out, it just might propel us, you know, towards the upside. So we are definitely on the support. We are, and you can see here how nicely we are hitting these lines down here. You know, I would like to hit these as well, but you know, you take what you get. So this looks very nice. We are at support, and technically, you know, emergency maybe was a little bit, you know, overshoot, but I still am bearish, guys. I am still bearish. I'm gonna even show you a chart. That's very variable. So on the weekly time frame, we got this morning doji start happening. And there are very nice lines. It right now says that we are hitting some kind of major support, but I'm not quite sure. The thing is, I'm not sure how well this support will hold, guys. I'm not quite sure how well the support. On the monthly time frame, breaking below the 50 and the 20, right back down again. This is bearish. Breaking below the 10 moving average bearish. Breaking below the support, bearish. We're still keeping above some kind of level of support up here, right? Is this the same level up here? Yeah, almost the same level up here at around 38,420, keeping that leveled up there, and the trend line as well, of course. So you know, a little bit bullishness up there, but you know, we are failing to get back above these moving averages up here, a little bit bearish. And you know, the way we do tech analysis, it's all about bullishness versus bearishness. Either you break the support and you become bearish, or you break the resistance, you become bullish. Unfortunately, we are only breaking supports after support after support. So yes, we are at support. Yes, we got a higher highs. Yes, there might come very nice morning doji star up here. There is a third thing that's very bullish I'm gonna show you. That might says that we're at bottom, but it's very scary, guys. It's very scary. Now on the daily time frame, we made a big poo-poo, and more bearishness is all, you know, kicking in as well. You know, up here when we fail to get back above the 10 and 20 moving average, it's not as bearish as you know, it's not as bearish as breaking support, but failure to actually get above the resistance is also seen as a little bit bearishness. So we saw this bearishness. We are hoping to close up here, stay up here. We failed that. So we are hoping to stay up here. We failed that. You know, hope was actually to keep above the 100 moving average, above the resistance up here. We failed that. Not only that, we failed the last support on the downside. That was down here, 40,551. We failed even that and went through that support and the 10 moving average on the downside. So that was a very bearish moment. And once this candle happened, guys, we had a live stream with emergency live stream saying how bearish this candle is, and this continued going on the downside. So this next candle, the day after, it actually managed to hold the support, both this support up here and this support up here. So this candle managed to hold the support, but you can see here that yesterday we broke both of the supports. So as you can see, we are just breaking supports on the downside. There is no bullishness kicking in yet. Facts. We are breaking supports, we are not getting anything in return. Any kind of bullish sentiment gets wrecked right now. Yes, we are at support. Yes, there is probability and hopium towards the upside. Unfortunately, bearishness is on the charts, and it is winning, unfortunately, the way I see it. So right now over here, not only did we break the support, but we broke the trend line as well. Now this trend line did not push us down, but you never want to break any kind of trend lines or horizontal supports, and we did break that. And right now, not only we did break that towards downside, but we are getting pushed below the support. So we are still getting pushed below the support, guys. So all the time, as we are becoming, you know, more and more bearish, seeing these bearish signs where we break the support on the downside, getting nothing in return, this is still continuing. So emergency, the way I see, is still on until we get something that can tell us that we are bullish. Something would be, you know, breaking certain levels towards the upside. Something would be, you know, regaining certain levels. I mean, I don't even want to talk about 42 level, how important that level is, because we are so far away from the 42 up here. This is this 50 moving average on the daily time frame. This is the level that you want to get above to be, you know, change the sentiment, you know. But right now, very bearish. That said, when there is a lot of bearishness and move toward downside, you know, that's, you know, oftentimes when the chart turns around. And now let me show you the biggest hopium, the best thing I got for you guys, that's gonna say this, all of this bearishness on downside needs to stop sometimes, right? All of this breaking of the supports, pushing towards downside need to stop and change direction eventually, right? That always happens. You cannot just go down forever. Maybe you can, I don't know, but sometimes it has to stop. So let me show you a chart on the weekly time frame up here, on the weekly time frame. And this chart over here, what it's gonna show you right now, let's just remove these support levels on the downside down here. I want to still keep the I still want to keep this support line up here that I do not want to break. This very nice legit support line. Let me just double check this on the daily time frame one more time. Yeah, it is very nice. It is very nice. So this might be it. I mean, I would like to use this level up here, and maybe this level has something to do with, you know, down here at 35,000 breaking, but you know, it is important level to hold. Now what I'm gonna show you up here is how this works. So oftentimes when you have a trend and you break the trend, you create what's called a pivot point. So here's how we draw the trend line. So right now you can learn something, right? You get a trend, you break the trend, you go down, you got some kind of trend, you break the trend, you create new pivot point, right? So here was a pivot point, right now you create pivot point. So although this trend over here is broken, right now there is a secondary trend that goes something like this. So we use now this pivot point, so right now we can expect that this trend is gonna be holding, right? So you just changed, once you break the trend, you just change the trend into some other new trend, right? So that's the theory behind trend lines. You always change, you're always in some kind of trend. So you can see it up here that we had some kind of trend on the downside. On the downside, we broke the trend, we create a new pivot point, and we went back down. Now this pivot point up here must be used with something. Oftentimes it's not the top pivot point up here. Oftentimes it's not top pivot point up here, although it can be used. You can see here that we actually broke it and create a new pivot point. So you can technically just use, go and create, pivot point to pivot point. But there are other lines that can be used to create these trends. So once now that we have this pivot point over here, we can use this line up here, and what you're gonna see, I think it's this one up here, yeah, this one up here, because if you go to the daily time frame, yeah, it corresponds nicely with everything else, because if on the weekly time frame this top up here doesn't correspond that nicely on the daily time frame. You just zigzag above everything, but if you pull down a little bit down more, it does seem legit up here. It does seem very legit. So what you're gonna see here is that this trend line up here is holding very, very nicely. Or here was a breakout, retest up here, bounce, and right now we're going back down there to this support, right? So we are at some kind of support. On the weekly time frame, it does look like we are hitting that on the dollar, right? You can see down here almost on the dollar hitting that. So this first trend got broken up here, that's fine, and this secondary trend up here right now got broken again, and we are just moving back to retest the trend again. We are moving back to retest trend. So we do not want to, under any circumstance, fall on the downside down here towards downside, but this is a normal movement on the chart. You got a trend, you break the trend, you retest that, and you continue going towards upside. So this can definitely, and I think this is the most bullish thing that's on the chart right now, that we are breaking the trend, but we are only retesting on the downside. Even though we have gone back below the support and so forth, and it does look bearish, this looks like a morning doji star pattern up here, and this can pump towards the upside up here just off the button. We are definitely at the button because everybody says so. Everybody says if we go even down a little bit more, we're gonna be below the bottom, and that is mostly correct. So the question is, was I wrong? Did I overreact? Maybe, I'm gonna say maybe I did overreact a little bit, tiny bit, but I still believe I should probably have waited, for a very important level of support to actually break, to call it some kind of emergency. But this is already very, very bad move, the way I see it. It's already a very bad move because we are getting rejected. We went to some level of resistance, we got rejected, we broke to the support, we broke, went back down to support again, over here holding support, tried to go back up, first resistance, rejection, breaking support again to the downside. I think that's enough to call the emergency. I think that's enough to call the emergency. So we're gonna say it like this. I'm still on the emergency part. I'm still very much bearish, even though this trend line up here is very nice and legit and all of that. I still think that there is too much bearishness on the chart right now. Too much bearishness on the chart right now to say this is not gonna go towards downside. I still believe that this is gonna go towards downside, but it can go towards upside. Like, nothing in TI is 100%. It can go up, it can go down, 50%, whatever, right? But I am more bearish than bullish. I'm more bearish, and I still think this emergency will keep on going until we actually bounce from these levels above, I think above 42,000, above 40, and then I'm gonna blow off the emergency. But right now it is still emergency. The target is still around 23, 24, 25,000. Nothing is changed since then. We need to show some bullishness to change the emergency, but right now everything looks very bad. And you know what I say, when there is emergency, when there is a blood on the stream, when everybody is fear, and right now I think fear and greed index is at 24. So, you know, maybe this is the button where we are gonna, you know, turn around, bounce, and go to, you know, through the sky. I won't pull out the moon chart right now. I won't pull out the bear flag on the weekly. I won't pull out anything, or the 200 moving average on the weekly and stuff like that. We're just gonna say, like, I am bearish. I think, you know, right now the new moon is coming in 3-4 days or something like that. I'm still bearish. I still think this is gonna go on the downside until something changes. We're gonna keep with that. But you know, facts are facts, and it is right. You guys are right. We are at support, and until we break the support can hold. Bulls can come in. Bears managed to break every single support on the way down until this last support. Bears managed to do that. They did. They are champions. Bears, congratulations, you managed to do that. Now the question is, can Bears break this last support over here? And there's a lot of reasons why we should go down. You know, we talked about liquidity, getting rid of the weekends, getting rid of the leverage loan, getting people out of the market, resetting the chart, right? We talked about that. There are good reasons why we should go down, right? There are good reasons why we should go down. So, you know, let's end the poll and see how people, you know, voted. The patterns are bullish reversal created in bearish trend. That might be it. No explosion. Is TLI wrong? Only down to like 23, 29, 31%. 43 think we only gonna go down a little bit. 38% think that the support is legit and we will pump. And yeah, no way we're going down 20. So, you know, 70% believe nada in me, nada. But there is actually no poll that says, yeah, I agree, we're gonna go down to 23k. So yeah, I missed the last one. I don't know how many people think, believe me. Let's do another poll. I believe in 23. I believe in support. I believe in 29, 31. Believe in down to 23. I believe in support. Bump. Here. Okay, there you go. A new poll. Everybody just answer so we can be, you know, 1 minute and we're gonna be done with the poll. I just want to see how many people, you know, believe that we are gonna go down to 23,000. I believe total market cap won't go below 1.5 trillion. Long time we checked total market cap. Crypto market 1.8. Gotta see, you know, a little bit same chart. Okay, 38 people vote. I believe in 30 people, like at least 10 people believe that we are gonna hit. Do you believe in life after love? Good morning, Magnus. Good morning, Chaco Ban. Are we all scared here? Not time to be scared yet. They should, but still shilling Nano, EOS, Quantum, SIA, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Fyro as well, man. Oh man, you totally got, you know, hooked on CoinSkid, man. You totally got hooked on so many buy orders at 34k. I can see 29k, then a crazy pump. Let's go to the monthly time frame on this baby up here. This baby will look a little bit different than Bitcoin though. But you know, drawing trend lines on these kind of, you know, complex patterns up here is not something that's very easily done. I cannot draw, I don't think you can draw a pattern on this because people are not trading this. It's just a reflection of whatever is happening. Ape topped out. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem topped out. We think it can actually go all the way up to like 20 bucks or something like that. Burns. Maybe it did top out. Maybe this these lines are a little bit off though. Merge ape. So I felt the need to, you know, discuss a little bit more about the emergency part because, you know, when people see emergency, they are thinking, you know, it has to be happening right now. But I think, you know, it started happening up here at the top, and you know, it's just ongoing event, right? It started happening up here on the top. Once it started going down, it became very, very bearish, you know. So I think emergency still goes on, and until I see some kind of bounce up here, I'm not gonna call off the emergency. So all my videos are gonna be, you know, big fat red text until we are actually out of the dump, right? Or hit some kind of button, right? So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. But you know, okay, let's check out these small time frames up here. I've been looking at these small time frames. 3 hours left. We actually managed to get back above the 10 moving average. So this is just going kind of sideways up here. Just kind of sideways up here. Maybe there is some kind of pattern being forming up here. Maybe there is some kind of triangle being forming up here. Maybe up here. So it is quite, you know, long. Let's see 1 hourly up here. One hourly has these bigger wicks though. These bigger wicks. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like this. This move on the downside was quite legit, guys. It was legit. I mean, this went so fast. I was watching this on 1 second chart. Believe it or not, I was watching that on 1 second chart. I don't know where is the move. Doesn't matter. Let's go zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this was it went down here and bam. I mean, it went like, you know, really, it was really crazy move. It was really crazy move on the 1 second chart. I was watching that 1 second chart, guys. So up here we got some kind of triangle up here. We got this 200 moving average coming down here. The question is whether we break towards the upside or downside. I think up here, give or take. Antonius wanna see Zilliqa. Let's check out Zilliqa. Elon is doing still fine. I did a video on Elon today because I thought like it's not the worst thing on the of the coins. It's not the worst thing of the coins. A lot of people are talking about it. Like, it's still not above the trend line, but you know, a lot of people are talking about it. So I did a video on it today. Let's check Zilliqa up here. You know, never buy the hype, guys, because if you buy the hype, you become the hype. I don't know if you can say that, but you know, Zilliqa is still pulling back to the moving average down here. You can see the bunch of moving averages down here. It's only you know, on the break below the moving average that it becomes bad, but you know, the pullback is normal. The pullback is normal. This went from the bottom to the top like 5x. Anytime anything does 5x, it will need to consolidate. It does look like it's going to consolidate more on the downside. It does look like it's getting pushed on the downside right now, sitting at some kind of support up here on the daily time frame. You can see here it's breaking the support. So I'm thinking it has more room to go towards the downside. It has definitely more room to go towards the downside. Now let's go back to the weekly time frame up here, and you'll see that the support starts kicking in around what's that, 86 or something like that, like major support levels, right? We got also on the monthly time frame, we got up here 10-20 moving average. So you can see here, up here, you know, some important levels are up here. Some important levels, this pivot point on downside. Yeah, some important levels. So I would say as long as it's above, you know, 86, 92 or something like that, it's okay, because, you know, pullback is normal. It has to, something does, you know, 5x, it has to pull back, man. It has to pull back. Do you know what beach coins kids goes to? Everyone I go to my coins dumps. You have Satoshi Bonin on your show, sir. One day, dude. You should have Satoshi Bomin. I don't know what Satoshi Bomin is. You grow, I grow is probably some terrible gloomy Welsh page. WeChain army, Tata army, Icon army, Dogelon Mars, Elon army. We are just ranging. You can trade that. You can trade anything, man. Depends on emotions. Zcash is up 6%. We said Zcash was looking a little bit bullish, right? So Zcash continuing up there. K1C Kybernetic actually had a pullback down here, but you know, it's just pulling back to some kind of moving average, so that might be a good thing. XMR also had a pullback on the downside, but still holding this support on downside. We've been looking at these coins lately up here, still, you know, above the 20 moving average, so it's nice. It's nice. So that is that's what I think about Bitcoin. I think the emergency is still ongoing. I won't call out of the emergency until we are, you know, out of the dump or out of the something, right? So something needs to happen for me to actually call this off. I think it's around 42,000, something like that. 50 moving average. I want to get above. I want to get about 42,000. If you can get it back about 42,000, maybe we're gonna call off the emergency. I think pretty much gonna call off the emergency and say, you know, because that's where the emergency started, at 42,000 towards downside. We are breaking level of support right now. We got this one last level of support down here. Once we start breaking that, I mean, technically you got more than one level of support on the downside. I mean, it's not that bad yet, but yeah, you know, we're gonna keep on with the going with the emergency and see how far this actually goes on the downside. And when something good happens, you know, we're gonna call off the emergency, play you know, Dodge Daddy, Solar, and all of the good stuff, right? Crypto panic. We're not gonna check crypto, we're gonna check crypto bubbles. Why not? Because that's a very easy and fast way to see what's pumping and what's not pumping, right? Let's see what's pumping right now in the last 5 minutes. We got KDI 0 point, so nothing is pumping. 15 minutes. Let's check out top 200 coins. 1%, not much is pumping or dumping. Hourly, in last hour, we got BTG 1.5, 1.4, KEK 1.3. Nah, not much. Let's see this today. What has pumped? System is up 6.6%. LDO, I don't know what LDO is. XDB is down 20%. Wow, that's a big thing, man. XDB, crypto digibytes, digital bytes on Qcoin is down 20% for the day, man. But this looks like just a random, you know, normal trading range for this thing over here. So you know, it's not that bad, but it is goes below the moving averages down here. It got rejected by these three. So you can see here we went below. You can see the support on the 50 moving average up here. It dropped below, it tried to get back up there, it closed below the 50, and right now getting rejected by the 50. So this over T, DigiBytes definitely looks very, very bad, so I can understand why it's down like 20%. But it had bigger moves, like up here on the weekly time frame, it was down 40% towards downside. Big time rejection. So Digital Bytes does look, you know, very bearish, very bearish. Digital Bytes up here. LDO, I don't know, I don't think anybody mentioned LDO to me before, so let's check out what LDO is. LDO USD token, Lido DAO, CoinX. So this thing up on the monthly time frame is still above the 10-20 moving average, not on the weekly time frame, on monthly time frame, daily time frame up here. Just consulting up here, it is breaking some trend up here on the downside. Should go something like this, I think. So it is definitely breaking some trend, but they got a lot of resistance here at the 50 moving average up here, so nothing special, nothing special. The chart doesn't look, you know, impressive at all. Flash crash soon. Head up, can you check Mattis? Mattis, never heard about that, so let me just do a quick look on Mattis. It looks terrible, man. Look at the chart, man. It just bleeds on the downside. Sorry, man. I don't have any good news, man. Any good news. Maybe the only good news up here is that this looks overextend towards the downside. So yeah, it looks overextend towards the downside. So maybe it's gonna, you know, have a nice pump soon. You know, all of the metrics beside the weekly time frame, all of the other metrics are right now on the daily time frame, unless they are kind of oversold. But it looks like it's just like bleeding to the downside. It does look ugly though. But you know, maybe there will be come some kind of a, you know, pullback towards the upside up here. Maybe, you know, it needs to break the trend, you know, this dumping trend down here. That's around this quite fast trend, so I think it's following this 10 moving average, the white line, 10 moving, simple moving average towards the downside. So if you can get above that, maybe it's gonna, you know, halt the break a little bit and maybe pump a little bit towards the upside. But it does look ugly though. It does look ugly. The Fed is wrecking us. I don't think it's Fed. I think it's just, you know, normal stuff. Feel very sad, but we need to shake out the weekends. Corporation and investment vehicles will buy, but they will hold, and people will complain later that they never had the chance for Bitcoin cheap. Guys, when I say that I think, you know, Bitcoin is gonna go down to 20, I don't mean it's gonna go down to 23, 24. It's gonna stay there forever, right? 23, 24 is like it's gonna be like the best buying opportunity that you can have right now. I mean, you cannot go back and buy Bitcoin for 3,000, right? So, you know, if you go down there, you know, 23, 24, 25, whatever, that area down there, it just might be the best opportunity to buy. Nobody's saying that Bitcoin is gonna, you know, go only down for the rest of the life. You know, it's gonna go to 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, whatever, right? Eventually, the time frame is very important, but right now, short term, I think the first that's gonna happen is a move to the downside, accumulation, and then go up. Monero looks really strong. Yeah, Monero and Zcash does look very, very strong. I'm just waiting for a button to buy more. Convinced it to be higher bottom than people think. Yeah, we also think it's gonna be higher bottom, because if we go, because right now everybody is thinking like there is no way you can hit 23, 24, 25,000, and a lot of people are thinking of the numbers like, you know, 20,000, 15,000 and stuff like that. So once we break, you know, 29, 30, 31,000, if that happens, if we go down and break these levels, people are gonna start calling for very, very low numbers, but we're gonna come down to nice 23, 24, 25, whatever, maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit below. We're gonna see. We're gonna accumulate there and bam, to the moon. And while people are still gonna be screaming like, no, it's gonna go lower, it's gonna go lower. No, we're gonna go to the moon. Any hope for the graph? Is it dead? Oh man, the graph is the Google of crypto, isn't that? The graph. Oh my god, this actually bled all the way back to the start, man. It got some kind of nice, you know, trends up here, but you know, this trend is broken. There is a secondary trend up here. Let's go to weekly time frame. Just look at the. Now you can see here it went up to the 20 moving and reject right now down. Now this is some kind of support on downside, just like Bitcoin is right now sitting on support. The question is, will we break the support on the downside? Because this is a rejection right back down again on the support. So you know, the question is, will it eventually right now do something like this up here and then break and continue towards the upside, right? Because you know, we had this big move towards downside right now, consolidating here. Will we have another move towards downside and then go up? I think it's just following Bitcoin though. Last pump starts like this big bear move and feelings, then huge volume came in and pump. I watched it happen live. That just my beat, man. That just my beat. We're gonna see once we get to those levels, man. Those bearish levels. Anyways, guys, that was a quick stream on Bitcoin today. Just wanted to, you know, talk a little bit about whether this is a, you know, real emergency or not. And I think it's a real emergency, but if the support holds, and right now we are at support, everybody can see that there is support, you know, and right now we are coming to these, you know, last final supports, these very crucial levels, and if these crucial levels hold and we can pump above 42,000, something like that, I'm gonna change the stance. I'm gonna blow off the emergency. I'm gonna say on the dollar we're going up. You know, there is probably some new lines on the chart, but right now the way I see it, the emergency full blown on, you know, it's on. The bears are winning every single fight. We are at support, that's correct, but I am afraid that suddenly for some reason we can drop on the downside. And right now I think that's more plausible option than the upside, but there's always a but. Yeah, tomorrow also the stock market is gonna start open, but we'll also know ahead of time what's happening, because futures markets open in right now in 15 minutes or something like that. I think this is how we closed on Friday. You can see here everything is red. The question is, will it continue being red on Monday? Right now the clock is 11. Okay, let's check out the closes here on the 4-hourly time frame. 4-hourly close in 3 hours, but we got a 1-hourly close in 20. So 1-hourly close is below the moving averages again. Where is our triangle, guys? Didn't we just draw a triangle on the chart somewhere? Okay, let's draw a new triangle. When something here, down here, maybe something like this up here. So we are still in the triangle. Even with this move to the downside, we are still in the triangle. Now, I would like to draw it something like this up here, but there is definitely a possibility to draw it like this because this bottom is up here. So we closed below the moving average, but this doesn't mean that much because it's 1-hourly and we are just going kind of sideways in this slow, slow triangle up here. So this can technically go all the way until until tonight, and maybe it will break out soon enough. I think tonight after the daily close, either right before the daily close or after the daily close. Where is the daily close? Up here. Over here is the daily close, guys. Over here. So the way I see it, we are either gonna before the daily close have a big dump, big pump. And that's gonna tell the direction how the day tomorrow is gonna play out, or we're just gonna go sideways up here until daily close, and then we'll see which direction we're gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna play out. 50-50. 50-50. Good evening, Van Alesva. Let's dump tomorrow. No idea what will happen. But all in all, doesn't look good. S&P with an ugly candle on Friday. Yeah, S&P, I mean, stocks are looking ugly as, but it did dump a lot on Friday, so maybe there will be a pullback on Monday. So there is always that. Anyways, guys, we're gonna end this stream over here. Just want to talk a little bit about emergency. Tomorrow, a new emergency. There will be Bitcoin daily early in the morning, so do check that out at 9 AM Central European time. Very important because of the daily close. Right, that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have you tried using market cipher? B, why would I do that, man? I know how to read the charts. Cheers, chin up. Bye bye, amigo. Bye bye. Cheers. Someone call Monica Lewinsky, we need a pump. Okay, guys.